Alright, this is Andrew with Joda Home Inspections. Today is October 15th, 2025, and we're doing a sewer scope here in Mill Creek. We're at 3663 South Redmaple Road, and we have the camera pushed out 113 feet to the city connection, so we made it all the way out, which is always a good sign. Now we're going to pull it back and record it and see what we find. So this first connection point is called the nose on. That's where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. And it looks like a good connection there. It looks like this line has been replaced. The first part has. Right as I said that, it looks like it transitions to something else. And it looks like there's couple things going on here. So first, it's a little concerning that we have what appears to be pieces of a sewer line stuck in the pipe. I'm going to be paying attention to that to see if I can see where those might have come from. So it looks like you have maybe some pieces that have been replaced, but it still looks like you have some of the older line as well. A little root there. There's some bigger roots. Big enough that I'd recommend that this line be cleaned and then evaluate it again. Once you have roots, you're always going to have roots, and so that'll be a maintenance item in the future to keep up on. But I think it would be a good time to do it now, since you already have at least half the pipe getting blocked by those roots currently. More on that joint. And then again, I always recommend having it scoped after you have it cleaned, because there's generally more that you can see once the line's been cleaned. You don't have as much debris or roots blocking those areas. Back to PVC, which is great. One access point is out in the yard. Looks like you might have two in this yard. One of them is marked sewer. I haven't walked by the one that's towards the front. This is looking great. No standing water, no buildup. It's been replaced. I'm accessing this line through the roof stack. And so we're going to see the main part of the sewer line, but we're not going to see the lines under the house that feed into this line. I did see an access point in the bathroom, which oftentimes I'll try to scope from inside the house so that we can see as much of what's under it as possible. But this clean out was partially blocked by drywall. And so nice that they didn't completely cover it, because you can open that drywall, but that you would have to cut the drywall to be able to access the line from that point. I would recommend asking the seller if they replaced any of the line under the house. It might be worth having the line cleaned from inside when you have the roots addressed. I mean, pros and cons. If you go from the roof stack, that's going to probably be cleaner, but maybe while they're here they can pull a toilet or open up that drywall to see what's going on under the house. A lot of times that's the weakest point, because it's the hardest to get to, so it generally has not been replaced. Yep, transitioning to cast iron. And so that's probably what's under the house, is this rough cast iron. Here it's tough because you don't have a crawl space to easily get to it and replace it. You would likely have to open the slab up in the finished space to be able to get to it. Transitioning back to summing the support comes up the back. Piece of sewer, but it does look like at least partially some of the house is going to be cast. Now I recommend getting the insurance on this line, since you do have some of the older lines still out in the yard, and that would help offset the cost if there's a bigger issue where it backs up or if it needs to be replaced. You can get that through HomeServe. It's sewer line protection. They don't cover under the house, but it can be nice to have if you do have an issue. I would also recommend getting it on the water service pipe as well. It's pretty inexpensive. I'm going to end this recording now.